All right, this man just recently called the whole EV revolution the biggest scam of modern times. He recently bought a Ford Lightning and he was stranded on his way to Chicago from Canada. So let's get into it. So he purchased a Ford Lightning for $115,000 Canadian dollars, which is around $85,000 US. And so the vehicle MSRP is actually 77,000, and so he did pay over MSRP. On top of that, the vehicle compelled him to install two chargers, one at work, one at home, for $10,000. And then he had to upgrade his home electric panel for $6,000. So that's another $16,000. So in total, he paid $130,000 plus tax. Now, he did get into a minor accident and it required some repairs on the front bumper. But it took 6 months in the body shop for him to get his F-150 back. And so with all these extra costs, this minor repair that took 6 months, he decided to take his vehicle from Canada to Chicago, a 1,400-mile road trip to Chicago. Now, you all, we're almost at 800 subscribers. Make sure you hit that subscribe button as I talk more about the car market, vehicles, trucks, all this jazz. So hit that subscribe button down below. So fast charging stations, which only charge EVs up to 90%, cost more than gas for the same mileage. Now that's something interesting that a lot of people don't know. Yes, you want to get fast charging, but they cost just as much as gas. And yes, you're not polluting the air as much, but you're spending the same amount of money for a more expensive vehicle. And so it took 2 hours and $56 to charge his vehicle from 10% to 90%. Charge was good for another 250 miles. On his second stop, the free charger was faulty. The phone number on the charging station was no help. The family drove to another charging station, but the charger was faulty there too. And he says the sheer helplessness was mind-boggling. My kids and my wife were really worried and stressed at this point. You know, he ultimately, after not finding a charger, towed it to a Ford dealership in Elk River and rented a regular gas-powered vehicle to complete the family trip to Chicago, and then picked up the F-150 back to Winnipeg. Now, it was in the shop for another 6 months, and he called the F-150 Lightning the whole EV market the biggest scam of modern times. What do you all think of this? I think there are a lot of issues that still need to be resolved with EVs. That's why I'm not going to buy an EV anytime soon until it's part of regular day life, where it's just as easy to charge like it is to get gas. That's when I'll look into getting an EV. And I think one thing is that this man should have done more research. He should have known where we are at with EVs, right? We're still in the beginning stages, right? You're going to run into things like that. But at the same time, he does have a point, because he went to 2 different chargers and they were all faulty. And that's another big thing that I've been hearing. A lot of these chargers, you find them, they're faulty. There's lines or things of that nature. And so right here, he says the actual thing they promised is not even close, not even 50%. And once you buy it, you're stuck with it. And you have to carry huge losses to get rid of that. And nobody is there to help you. Now, obviously, Ford, they commented, they were like, hey, we're not where we need to be. We're trying to get all these chargers accessible to everyone. We're partnering with Tesla and their whole network. GM is doing that also. But I think there's some things that, he has to, like this driver, this person who wrote this, like, yeah, he should have done more research. But at the other side, yeah, these dealerships, these companies have to let people be more aware, like, hey, all the chargers are not there yet. We're still learning how to repair these vehicles. That's why your truck took 6 months. I don't know the reasons, but I think there's things on both sides that we can look into that, they could have, that was their responsibility of, like the driver's responsibility and the dealership or the manufacturer responsibility. And these comments kind of highlight that. This person says, you're dropping $130,000 on a vehicle, but you haven't done research. It takes more than 30 minutes to charge a cell phone. You're relying on a virtually non-existent infrastructure. You want to take 1,000-mile trips in a vehicle with a maximum range of less than 500. It's actually close to like 350. So that's a good comment. He is not at fault because every dealer and every country have not been telling us the truth about EV cars and trucks for a long time. Maybe they're not being as upfront about the mistakes and the learning curves that they're still going through. And so, yeah, people are saying that. Let me know you all's thoughts on the whole EV movement of this guy's story, Ford Lightning. Do you think it's the biggest scam of modern times? Let me know. Make sure you all subscribe, and I'll talk to y'all later.